everybody. What's going on? It's Friday night. Woo! I'm excited. You excited? I am so excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put your mic in front of you.
That's all right.
That's
I got
better.
it.
It's good. All right. Woo! What's going on, people? Good to see people in the house already. We got Jade Kitten. Hey, Jade Kitten. Sorry to hear about your uncle. Very sorry. We'll try to cheer you up today or tonight. Ian, good to see you. I think, information for you. So we're going to get to that in a moment. Dawn, what else? Shauna, John Kennedy, woohoo! Dr. Jim's in the house. Alex, Michelle, Jaden. Oh, hey, what's up, Jay? Good to see you. All right, it is Friday night. The Skeptical Health Bar is open. We got some drinks. Let's go over our rules as soon as I find them. I wasn't prepared. There we go. All right. So rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions, and especially tonight because it's open mic night. That's it. It's open mic night. The show only keeps going if you guys ask questions. So rule number 2 on that note is that I don't know everything. I really don't. I try to learn as much as possible, and I cram. You ever do that in like high school where you're
yeah, college.
you forgot like there was a test the next day and you're like, oh shit, I got to cram. So,
no, not really. I knew what my tests were.
I didn't pay attention in school. We had very different schedules.
Yes.
So yes, I try to know as much as I can, or at least a little bit, and pass on that information. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule here, and that means be nice. Really, if you can be in the chat room, you are welcome to have discussions and debate and go back and forth. Rules. Who needs rules? Damn it, Bob. But yeah, you can talk about things in the chat room, and you can disagree if you want to. That's all up to you guys. Just don't devolve into name calling or like really nasty remarks, because Divine Donna will boot your ass.
Yeah.
Out of the chat room forever.
Yeah, we mean forever, because we won't be able to find you.
We won't know how to get you back.
You're
lost. You're in the Phantom Zone. Phantom Zone. You'd be like in the movie, like Zod's, like up against the glass. It's like floating through space.
And we'll never find you.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna see if I can put my face on it as that little clip flying through space. Rule number 4 is that if you do have a question, which I hope you guys do tonight, please put a capital Q in front of it in the chat room, and that way it's easy for Donna to pick it out of the chat and put it in her queue so that we can address it later. And then lastly, rule number 5 is drink up. Got some special tea courtesy of Melanie and Anthony Teresa King, who visited us last weekend. They were here. They came in on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
They came in on Sunday, stayed all day Monday, left Tuesday morning. So we tried to get them to stay, because it would be great to have her on the show again, have both of them on the show, because that's the last 2 times both of them have been on the show. And it's been like, really fun to have different perspectives, especially for someone outside of the paranormal altogether.
Right.
It was really nice to have Anthony's perspective on that. So really cool. All right. So let's go back to this. Let me check real quick and see what kind of things we got. Jeff AF. I'm not going to make fun of your name this time. I remembered. Hey, Dave Schumacher. Everyone give love to Dave. He's having some family issues, and I'm not going to say it because it's not my business, but just give him some love. Give Jade Kitten some love, because we all got to stick together. We're all in this together. Adrian, what's up, Giggles? How you doing? Nice to see you. Bob's here. Tom's here. Let's see. I think I exhausted my questions last week. That's funny. Well, you didn't. Actually, you actually helped inspire you, and actually Beardo, who was a guest on this show, inspired me to make a little clip, because I have some information to answer one of your questions. I don't know if both questions were his. I'm not sure, but I think at least one. I know one about the miracles at Lourdes was your question, because I had it written down in my notes. But I'm going to play a new segment, because today I was like, oh, let me do like a video intro for a segment, and then I can go to it. It's going to be so much fun. Here we go. You ready? Ready? Here we go. I got side stay up. That's so cool. I'm so proud of myself. It's really the little things. So there's two items I want to get to before I take on any questions, and that is there was a question about the 19 hertz frequency affecting people, like with their eyeballs, making your eyes vibrate at that frequency and causing people to see hallucinations and stuff like that. So I wanted to touch on that, and it was actually good. I looked up the original. Well, let's see. Yeah, it was the original report. I wouldn't call it like a paper. It was more like an article, and it was called "A Ghost in the Machine," which is ironic because that's the "Ghost in the Machine" is like the name of my video series. But so I read through it. I printed it out, and I'll try to post the links later once I get maybe the break. But I printed this out and read it over, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of problems with this article. A lot of problems. First and foremost, in the description from the authors, like they don't tell you how they measured the 19 hertz, which is a big problem. It almost is like they just guessed at it. They don't tell you right off the bat, but there was something that really caught my attention because he tells a story. So this guy, Vic Tandy, he tells a story about how he worked in a lab that was actually two garages that were back to back. And I guess it was like a low budget lab. I don't know. I'm not judging or anything like that, but it was in two garages that were back to back. And then he was doing stuff. And at one time I guess he was sitting at his desk and he noticed a gray figure like out of the corner of his eye. And he says he watched it. I don't know how accurate that is, but apparently like it moved like a person. And then when you looked directly at it, it was gone. And then the next day he had a fencing tournament, which is interesting. And he had to fix something on his fencing sword. So he brought it to the workshop to do it. And he put it in a vise and noticed that the blade was vibrating. And he used the blade to find out where this standing wave was. But when he talks about it, when he talks about finding it and measuring it, let me see, where is it? There was actually like a really part like, oh, okay. So it says there were two questions. The first was, where is the energy coming from that was vibrating the blade? The second is, what does a 19 hertz standing wave do to people? And he talks about going in and trying to find it. But there's a note on here, and it says he actually admits that he has no idea the amount of energy that was in this infrasound because he had nothing to measure it with. He had no equipment to actually measure it with, which is an issue. Like, I mean, well, what's Dave saying? I think they did a calculation to get the resonant frequency, which was 19 hertz. So yeah, he said that his calculations were quick and dirty, but without any actual instrumentation or equipment, I question like what was really going on. So I don't know. I don't know. I saw problems with that, and then Dave Schumacher, who's in the chat room, I reached out to him because I know we've discussed this before, and he was able to send me another paper called "Things That Go Bump in the Literature: An Environmental Appraisal of Haunted Houses," and this goes in to testing infrasound, and it references this earlier paper and how there were problems. They found problems with it. That authorities have further voiced two major concerns about Tandy's work. First, the lack of detail provided about the infrasound measurements themselves, weighing, filter, unspecified, room dimensions not taken into account, etc. And second, the lack of evidence demonstrating physiological effects of such weak infrasound levels. And more that I studied, or not studied, but looking at, it really depended on decibel level, not just frequency. And it was basically not just 19 hertz. It was between like 6 and 20 hertz or 22 hertz, and even wider range than that. And then more of this study went into more detail. I will definitely send this to you, Ian, and I'll put it in the chat room because I think I have it up on screen. That anybody can download it. It's for free. You can read it yourself. There's a lot of information there. So I didn't want to spend too much time on it because it gets very, very technical. And I like that stuff, but you guys might get bored. So, but it's definitely something you can read on your own. The second thing I wanted to look back on was another question. And again, Ian, correct me if I'm wrong, because I thought you asked this. But
no, he asked the other one.
oh, okay. He asked the
already
other.
said
Okay.
it, yeah.
Somebody asked about the miracle healings at Lourdes. The Lady of Lourdes, I think it's in France. Miracles that happen since 1858. So I went into that a little bit, and oh crap, who was it? Somebody sent me somebody actually emailed me, and I can't believe I can't remember, and I feel embarrassed. So hopefully somebody pops up and says that was me. But basically there's these alleged miracles that happen where people were instantly healed of various illnesses, mostly tuberculosis. That seems to be like the big thing. But the information is really bad. And I mean, here's a paper that I have here on it that he sent me. There's a lot of tags on it that I put there. And just to go over, I'm going to go over to the end here because I think there's relevant information. Oh, yeah, like a critical assessment of the Lord's medical history. The word cure has been in the Lord's context. And when I say Lord's, I'm saying Lourdes. It's like a location, not, the Lord kind of thing. The word cure has been misconstrued and overused. Allegations of cures, mere improvements in patients' mental or medical status, especially in functional nervous conditions, were often accepted as genuine cures. Now that's really important because there's a big difference from being instantly cured of tuberculosis and having a slight improvement in overall behavior or overall feeling, which can sometimes be led to like a placebo effect plus expectations. Because when you go to a place like this, you have literally thousands of people that are there, all going with the same idea, and you're surrounded by people that are going to say, you're actually cured. It's actually funny since 1858, only 70 of like thousands of cases have been deemed to be miracle. And even the council, because there was a council in, let me see, Lourdes Medical Bureau was established in 1905 to render judgment that a particular cure was near instantaneous, effective throughout the remainder of life, and scientifically inexplicable. So they went through all of these accounts, and they actually admit there's just not enough information. There was a lot of sketchy notes. Patients that were allegedly cured were only looked at once. And it was sometimes long before they went to Lourdes to try the healing waters. And sometimes it was just afterwards. So there's a lot of missing information with this. So when it comes to these miracles, and I've also noticed in the literature that it says as science or medical science has progressed, this window of attributing these cures to miracles has dwindled. It's gotten smaller. So yeah, there's definitely, it seems like there is definite correlation between like advancement in medical science and the diminishing of miracle cures. So that's enough of that. I think I kind of covered everything in summary, but if there's more questions, feel free to ask. I don't have all the answers. Like I said, I really just dived into this today. When I had time, I was like, let me look through some studies and start reading. So, like I said, I have a lot of notes that I wrote in this. But basically, overall, they said they really don't have a lot of information. They're going off of stories that are like 100 years old, and we're talking like stories. Some of them are stories. Some have more detailed notes. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of it just sounds like very sketchy stories, and they admit it freely. So that was actually nice to read. Um, let's see. Oh, by any standard, the Lourdes phenomena has been extraordinary. Much has changed since the decades following the visions, because apparently, like, what was it? Bernadette, I'm going to butcher her last name, Subiras, claimed that she saw an entity which was alleged to be the Virgin Mary in a grotto 18 times between February 11th and July 18th of 1858. So I have a question, and this is probably going to upset people, but like, I don't understand why they keep calling her the Virgin Mary. Like, what, is she still a virgin? Like, she was married. I mean, the story says she got married to Joseph. Like, you think they would have got
She's
busy.
just always considered the Virgin Mary. It's just her name, like
That's
Divine
weird,
Donna.
That's totally different. You can still be divine unless you fall from grace. But I mean,
not living with you.
Virginity is
I
like,
don't have to worry about that.
there's a definite line of virginity, and when you cross it, you can't go back. There's no going back. So I don't know. I think that's false advertising. I don't agree with that. So anyway, I hope that answered the questions. Ian, I hope that gave you some information to go with, and I really want to look.
Translates to young.
To young. Oh.
Make more sense now?
No, because that's not the context that they use it. I mean, because they always refer to her as the Virgin Mary because of the virgin birth. Right? That she did not have relations with Joseph and was knocked up.
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, I understand that might be what it kind of meant, but or maybe it did mean that in that time, but I do have a problem with it's kind of chauvinistic to me, like only virgin women are pure. Yeah, well, men are just, we suck. Anyway, all right. So I think that's it for that. I think that's something to go on. So, Ian, I hope that was enough information for you. And then it really bothers me that I can't remember who.
It wasn't Ian.
I know. No, I'm saying it bothers me that I can't remember who sent me, but I can tell you in a second because I'm looking now at my email and I'm trying to find where I got that from. Dun, dun. No, this is not it. That's not it. Somebody sent me because they sent me the article.
Daniel Reed?
No, it wasn't
5
Daniel.
Things to Know About Mary.
5 things to know about Mary. Okay, well that'll be cool to look at. Wow. Okay, so I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it. Oh, there it is. Daniel Scurry. I see it. I don't know what his screen name is because I don't think that's actually what came up when he asked the question. But there's another Daniel out there, and I hope that answered your question. All right, so I'm good. Let's take some questions. I see we got a few in the queue. That's cool. Ah, dun dun.
Do you change out your screen?
Do I what? Huh?
Change out
my screen. Oh, yeah. Okay. That'll give you time to get a question. All right, Bob. Damn it, Bob. Is there a chance we will ever see new episodes of K&D Adventures in the near future? I'd love to learn more about the Buffalo area.
Yes, it's funny that you've mentioned that, Bob. We were just talking about it last weekend. And since the weather's, I'm not saying anything about no more snow, but it's getting a little bit nicer, and Groundhog Day, we're supposed to have an early spring. Let's hope for Buffalo area that we have an early spring.
Right.
But yeah, we're hoping to get out and do some fun stuff.
So yeah. I hope to get out more. We have plenty of places up here to visit, to go hiking or just to explore. So yeah, once it gets better, because it gets cold.
It's cold. It's very cold up here, and it's windy. If it wasn't so windy, it wouldn't be so cold, but
And it really goes back and forth. Like one day it could dump 2 feet of snow on you and be really cold, and then the next day you go out and it's steaming. Like all the snow is melting,
it's
turning to steam, and
melting.
you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I go out without a jacket. This is nice out, but it's soggy. It gets very soggy.
Yes, yes. We've had
Very soggy around
enough
here.
snow, and then we got rain right after the snow,
Yeah.
which made it very soggy outside. Yes. It's starting to dry up. Hopefully this week the weather's supposed to be better.
What's
At
up,
least
Crow?
the sun's coming out.
So let's see. There was somebody. Where did I see it? Somebody mentioned infrasound. Where'd it go? Infrasound can make you physically ill. It's a powerful natural force. So, we're not so sure. I mean, there's studies that I'm seeing where it goes back and forth, and a lot of the literature that goes into it doesn't account for everything. Like they did studies where they did it at concerts. They did it at a concert. They did it at. Let me see here. Hold on, because I have examples here. So we're going to dive back into this. Let's see. It was re-examined in 2001. Music concerts that incorporated man-made infrasound were held at a venue in Liverpool and again at the Royal Festival Hall in London. And they played it, and people reported. Let's see. Although the environmental and social context may have played a role in the way the audience reacted to the music, people did fill out a survey afterwards that said reactions ranged from low arousal reports like calm and sleepy to more active states such as aroused and excited. But again, they could not determine whether it was the music that was doing it or if it was the infrasound because there was no way to control for that. They had another approach to infrasound generating and testing was used in 2 further public performances in 2006 and 2010, whereby the focus was on infrasound at 18.9 hertz at 90 decibels. Reactions noted by audience members included physical discomfort and anxiety, yet it is unclear whether these responses were due to the generated infrasound, the ambient infrasound already present, or other environmental variables that factored into the performance. Like I'm wondering if that's like drugs or booze. I don't know. I don't know. And then like there was actual a test where they constructed a completely empty white and circular room that became haunted through the systematic variation of 2 key factors: electromagnetic fields and infrasound. But participants reported many unusual perceptions, but the frequency was unrelated to the environmental manipulations. So it wasn't related to the infrasound being pumped in. So the places are all over the place. So I don't know. I don't think anybody knows for sure. But it's become like a tribal knowledge thing where I hear ghost hunters and other people that are not so ghost hunting. I don't know if that's a word, but use infrasound as a reason for what's going on or how people are feeling, and we just don't know. We don't know unless more testing needs to be done. That show they filmed at Eastern State actually tested for infrasound, but they had megabucks worth of gear. National Geographic Channel special. Dr. Jim and I were talking earlier, and it's not that easy to produce infrasound in the wild, in the field, I guess, without good equipment. I've tried. Like he sent me a sound clip, and I looked online on YouTube, and it's weird. Like you look up 19 hertz sound, and some of the clips I hear without a problem, and then other clips I don't hear anything. So I don't know. I wouldn't trust YouTube. I'd also have to see what the frequency response for my speakers are, so that I make sure that it's actually coming out. Hey, shut up, Jason. I see that.
I see that comment.
Donna is the brains behind this. That's right.
Everybody knows
she
it.
does all the research. I'm just the face. I'm just sexy back. So I think that that's all I can really say about it. Again, that's the I think limit right now of my knowledge of the topic. And I can keep going back because again, I still have other highlighted sections on this that go through tests and issues. This paper is actually really interesting. Things that go bump in the literature. I mean, they cover a lot of things like electromagnetic fields, lighting, temperature. I mean, they run the gamut on haunted house scenarios. So I'm going to read the rest of it. I think I've read this before. I just got to refresh it because it's actually interesting. All right. What else we got? Jamie, hello. I have to ask, what's in your specialty? Rum. I got some rum. I got rum from, where was it? Anthony picked it up. Where were they?
I don't know. I didn't read the bottle.
Minneapolis, Wyoming, right? Is that where it is? Where is Minneapolis?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Someone needs Google Maps. So I think that's where they brought it from. But they picked up a bottle. It was a local distillery, and they picked it up for me and brought it when they spent the weekend here, and it was great. I mean, it's good. It's smooth. I love mixing my rum and lemonade and tea. It's so good. So good. All right. Jason still has my bottle here. Well, you need to come visit, Jason. You need to come visit us. Hang out. We got a spare bedroom. Come on and hang out. I'll take you on a tour of the center. It'll be fun. We'll hang out. We'll do a show. We'll piss off some people.
Right. You know. Right. That'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. All right. What else we got? John Kennedy. What's up? Out of 24 hours, do you live? I guess how much out of 24 hours do you live at the CFI building? So that's
a really good question.
That's a good question. So I'm here all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
I think I can definitely say I'm probably here more than anyone else in the building. The only one that would have me beat is Vance, our building manager.
Yeah,
because I know he's here at the crack ass of dawn, making sure everything's good, making sure the building is good and everything. But yeah, I mean, I love being here. I get sucked into the work I do. So I usually try to get here like 8:39, and I don't know, like 5:30 or 6. 5:30 is usually when I usually stop.
It's usually when I have to bug them to come home for dinner.
It's like the phone goes off. Dinner will be ready in 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Got to clean up. Got to go. But yeah, I love coming here. I mean, I also come here for like the events and the planning, the committees that we have. Because like right now we have a eclipse committee because we're doing an eclipse event on the April 8th. So I'm here for those meetings. I'm here for our Western New York chapter meetings. And then sometimes we come here for like Lego night. We have a Lego night now where we get together. We build Lego sets, which is fun. And there's other stuff that happens. Any kind of big event too. If we have a lecture, here.
Yeah, or if he's just bored on the weekend, he'll be like, when I'm watching sports.
Yeah, when Donna's watching football, I'm like, I'm gonna go over and do some work. So I'm here. Usually, I mean, you can bet that I'm here on the weekend at some point, and I'll be here Sunday. I'll be here Sunday because I'm doing something.
Oh yeah,
with Jason Halls. So I'll be here Sunday for a little bit. But yeah, I'm here a lot. I would say easily like 9 to 10 hours a day. And then I run back over because it's not that far. I mean, I'm a short walk away, so I can come over and just,
hang out
and read a book or do some work and do some filming.
He loves his job, so
it's also good when I do filming for the videos, like the standalone videos and TikToks and stuff, because then, I mean, actually during the day, it's more fun because I have volunteers that'll help. Because like Eric behind the wall has been my ghost for so many videos. Nicole has been more of my poltergeist and demon for a couple videos. And then I can just, if I start setting up something, like when I set up the kitchen drawers to open and close by themselves, Vance, our building manager, was like right there with ideas. Like he gets excited. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Oh, really? And he starts thinking about it, and we start brainstorming, which is really, really fun. Later, Crow. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Oh, maybe he's saying it to Jason. Jason, take it easy. I'll talk to you soon. So yeah, I'm here a lot, and I don't mind. This is the first job I've ever had where I don't mind being here. Damn it, Bob. So what you're saying is that you have colleagues who are willing to role play. Gotcha. Why you have to make it weird? But yeah, they are, and they're so much fun. You know what? And it's like we did. If you haven't seen this TikTok video that I did with Melanie, we did 2. Yeah, so if you're on TikTok, go to her channel. I think it's like Thinking is Powers or Thinking Powers, because it can't be Thinking is Power. I think it was already taken. So look up Melanie on TikTok and look at her the last couple of videos. She filmed them here, and we did them. And one is like her opening and closing drawers with, the force, until the line breaks and it messed it up. But then the longer video, we recreated something like a poltergeist video on TikTok where there was like lights flickering and you hear noises, and goes in, checks, there's nothing there, and then turns around, hears a bang, turns around, sees the lights flickering again, and then like a dark shadow comes out, and we recreate that like perfectly. And then we show you the same scene from 2 different angles, actually. Like the angle of the camera, I had a camera inside the kitchen where we were filming. I had it hidden inside with a wide angle lens so you could see everything going on. And then Anthony had the organ cam.
Right.
Because he was playing the organ. He was so cool. Sat down at this organ that nobody has played for decades in this place. But he sat down and started playing this creepy ass music. And it was just so cool. It scared the shit out of me at first because I'm like directing people on what to do. And all of a sudden I'm like, where's that music coming from? What's going on here? But it was him. Really cool. So definitely check it out when you get a chance, after the show, not during the show, because still watch this show. So there you go. All right. What else we got? This is fun. It's going good. Dr. Jim, did you read the NASA paper about visual aberration due to infrasound, 19 hertz? I did not. I didn't read that yet. I don't know. Did you send it to me? I'm not sure, but I didn't get a chance to read that yet. And it's interesting because the one of the papers, I forget, does mention about varying frequencies, and that if you find the resonant frequency of the eyeball to make it vibrate, it might blur your vision. And that was used to try to say that the original report of seeing a gray apparition at the side, that was the cause. And like I read that and thought, well, if you're going to have an external force vibrate your eyeball and blur your vision, your entire vision would be blurred, not just the side. And on that note, when we get into the science of it, ready to be bored?
Yeah.
The cones and rod cells in your eye pick up different things. So the cones are more concentrated in the center of your retina, and pick up color, and they need a lot of light to see clearly, but they pick up detail and they see color. But the rods are scattered throughout, and they don't pick up color. They pick up gray, and they're great for night vision. They help us see movement and pick up shadows. And it actually is perfect that that's how they pick it up. They pick up gray, which falls in line with what the original report said of him seeing a gray figure. So there's a lot of problems with the whole original report. But anyway, I did not read the NASA report yet, but I will get to it. It's on my list because I'm printing out all this information, and it'll go in my files after I read it, so that I have at least I have it in my head I won't retain it all, but at least I'll be able to say, oh, yeah, I did read
Yeah.
that. I know where it is. Let me go get it and see what I highlighted because everything, all my files, everything is highlighted. Like my yellow and orange highlighter get a workout because I highlight the shit out of everything. All right. What else we got? Jade Kitten. This Lord's thing makes me think of Mr. Monk and the Miracle. Have you guys seen it? Mr. Monk and the Miracle. You're talking like Monk, the series, the detective series? I'm not sure. Mr. Monk and the Miracle. Let me look this up real quick and see what that is. Mr. Monk and the Miracle. Mr. Monk and the Miracle. Monk, season 7, episode 9. When 3 homeless men seek Monk's services at the holidays, Natalie convinces him to investigate their friend's death. Sotomayer's faith reawakens when a visit to the monastery fountain rids him of a crippling pain. I probably have seen this because I absolutely love Monk and I will watch it anytime there's a marathon. I will watch Monk. I will stop everything and watch Monk because I love it. I think it's a beautiful. Hey, Pascal. I think Monk is like a beautiful series. It's funny. It's intelligent. I love it, and I love the clues that he looks at and figures out, and I love all those kind of shows. So, but no, I don't remember exactly what this episode was, but now I'm gonna write it down so we can watch it tonight. Yay! Season 7, episode 9. All right, Monk and the Miracle. Okay, cool. What else we got? Let's see. I drop in and here's Kenny talking about his rod. That's right. That's what kind of show this is. Mitchell? Am I saying that right? I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But yeah. All right. Have you heard of the Monroe tapes and the concept of hemisync? This sounds familiar. It relates to sound frequencies affecting the brain. Monroe tapes. So it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. La la la.
Is that this the Monroe thing here? What is this here?
No, that's not it.
Oh.
No. The mystery of Marilyn. Oh, that's what? I put in the Monroe tapes, and the first thing that comes up is Marilyn Monroe. Damn it, AI! Stop it.
That's funny.
Oh, the Monroe Institute recordings. Let's see. Is that it? That looks like Gateway Experience. Oh, wait. I think I've seen this. That's why it's familiar. I started looking at this a while back when I started looking into the Monroe Institute for a different thing. I'm not sold on the Monroe Institute and their findings. But I haven't looked into it enough. So I won't comment. I just, from past experience with, I forget what I was, I think it was like when I was looking into, this was when we had a ghost hunter that makes equipment on the 3TS show, the 3 Tortured Souls. And he didn't know how the equipment worked, but he was just building it. And he brought up the paper. Remember the paper? He's like, "Oh, read this paper. It'll explain everything I'm talking about."
He didn't even read it.
And he didn't read it. Me, Tim, and Dave both read it that night because he only gave it to us the night before the show. We read it and started talking. He's bringing up all this shit. I'm like, "Did you even read that paper?" And he's like, "Well, no, not really." I'm like, "You didn't read it. Like, how the fuck do you just tell someone, read this paper, it'll explain what I'm talking about, and you don't even know what the hell you're talking about?" I can't stand that. But I believe that had something to do with the Monroe Institute, and that's how I got into like seeing just cursory look at the Gateway Experience thing. But it just sounds like pseudoscience. It sounds like that like homeopathic homeopathy meets your earbuds. That's what it seemed to be at the time. So I haven't really gone into it that deep. So that's all I got for you right now. But maybe I will put that down for. He in fact did not read it. Yes, yes. I will see if I put that. Maybe that'll be on the next segment of what do we learn this week, because I'm
Maybe,
trying to
yeah.
push that. Monroe Institute, Institute, and I wondered if there could be any truth to it. I don't think so. I've seen a lot because these look like frequencies, like just sounds, almost like when you see those commercials on TV, like, oh, listen to blue sound and brown sound and white noise and all this, and it's supposed to do different things for you. And then you see like another advertisement saying, this will make you fall asleep in 30 seconds. And it's like a 2 hour long video. And I'm like, why is it 2 hours when it's only going to take 30 seconds? It doesn't make sense. But I really don't think a lot of the stuff is what it says. Like it's like these say like color breathing, bio body, celestine dreams, adventure. Like I'd have to look into it more, but I think it's more that kind of a joke. It's trying to assign different frequencies to different feelings or different behaviors, and I don't see anything about it. I don't see anything legit about it. But again, I haven't really gone into it.
Follow up here.
I gave it absolutely no chance of being legit. But have you guys heard of Gary? Oh wait, I love this. People are giving me awesome stuff to look into. Sudbrink calls. Let me see. I'm learning stuff tonight. This is great. Let's see. Gary Sudbrink calls. Let's see what this is. Gary Sudbrink. We used it a lot on my stepbrother's 976 phone calls. He would call from another phone in the house if we were aware of it. What's this? Oh, that's a YouTube channel. I can't get into that. Spreaker. Gary Sudbrink. On the evening of February 8th, 1993, Gary Sudbrink was at his parents' home in New York, located on Long Island. 27-year-old. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I hit read more and everything shifted. The 27-year-old Air Force captain had decided to make a surprise trip to visit his family and friends and hadn't really told anyone of his intention before flying back home from Texas. However, late that evening, Gary's parents would receive a series of strange calls addressed directly to Gary. The caller on the other end spoke in a strange mechanical voice and made a number of weird statements, alluding to Gary being impersonated by someone else. Research, writing, hosting, and production. This is like a podcast. So I guess that's the story. That actually sounds pretty cool, almost like a true crime kind of thing. I'd have to dig into it to see if it's actually legit or if it's like a Slender Man kind of story, just made up creepy pasta kind of thing. Let's see. What else? Oh, I'm reading some of the comments. I'm watching discussions going on. This is great.
Oh yeah,
I love when people have discussions in there. All right, cool. What else do we got? What do we got? 45 minutes? Wow, that went by fast. Jordan, hello. First time in the stream. Well, thank you. Appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully you like it and you stick around. First time in the stream, and I got 2 questions. I'll type out separately due to character limits in the comments. Yeah, I know. That's a pain in the ass. 1, a buddy wants to know how you would pronounce my last name. Is that buddy like Dave Schumacher or Tim Vickers? Because they always make fun of me. Schoetmer. Schoetmer? Schoetmer. Schoetmer? Damn it, Tim. I see you laughing. How would you say that?
Yeah, I think you got it.
Do I? Which one?
Scoetmer? Squetmer?
Scoetmer? Scope.
Squetmer?
I'm cheating. I'm going to ask Google. Pro nuns. Let's see if Google gets it right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, wait. How to pronounce? Come on. Record. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, no. It doesn't have one.
It's
It's
not a
asking me to
word?
record it.
That's funny.
Well, so this means if it's Google's asking me to record that, then I can set
Oh
what the
yeah, you can
pronunciation
say
is,
what it
and then
is.
I'll be right no matter what.
That's funny.
Oh man! All right. Does he have a second question?
He does.
Second question
Yeah.
up.
Here you go.
During a paranormal investigation, there were 2 instances of a room being filled with a bright white light for about a split second. How do you debunk it? How would you debunk it? There was no electricity. All right, so this is a understand Shotmer. Oh, he says pronounced like Shotmer.
Shotmer.
Okay, that's not how I would sound it out, but okay. I mean, I'm gonna go with the
Shotmer,
source.
yeah.
He's the primary source, so I'm gonna go with that.
Shotmer.
right.
I like the name.
So this is a good question because it's not a simple debunk. It's really not. I can offer suggestions, but I have a lot of questions. And understand, like when and I don't know you, and hopefully you get to know me. We have a good time, but I don't know how you go about investigating places or claims. But like when I investigate a claim, I like to have a lot of information. I want to know, like, is there any video footage of this? And then what kind of environment are we talking? It doesn't have to have electricity for a light to flash. There could be someone outside. There could be someone inside with a flashlight or a camera. It could be lightning far off. It could be car headlights that kind of flash from a distance, just enough. And it really depends on if it was seen with the naked eye or if this is seen through a camera, because there's going to be a difference. You might not pick up a subtle light that a camera will pick up and intensify. Because when it plays back, it's going to look brighter than it actually was, at least to you, to us. So there's a lot of questions that I have in situations like this. I can't just debunk because that's not how I would investigate. I would have to know a lot of questions. I'd have to see the area, the entire environment around it.
Here's a little bit more.
Say the instances of where the light appeared. There was a flash of light from the middle of the room, not towards the ceiling or the floor, dead middle of the room, which is what made things interesting. So
all windows were covered.
All windows were covered. So again, like, not again, but how did we determine this? Because and no footage. No footage. Only eyewitnesses counts between myself and a friend who was investigating. All right, so that makes it near impossible to figure out, because one, I need to know, how do you know it came from the center? Because any kind of light that comes off, it will cause shadows of any objects in the area, including you and your friend that was there. Like, where are the shadows? Where are they pointing? Was it static? Was it static electricity? Like, what time of year? What were you wearing? This is definitely possible. But again, I don't know all the details of the environment. So we'd have to go over this like detail by detail to figure out what might have happened. And I stress the might in this because we're not going to know. There's no visual evidence. There's nothing to go on except your description. And again, we talked about this like last week. Your description, no matter how detailed your description will be, I'm never going to understand exactly what you saw. And that's not a fault of you or me. It's just our perceptions are different, and how we use terminology is different. Like today, oh my God, today, good example. I'm talking to Jason Hawes, and we're texting back and forth, and he asked when I was available for for a project, and I was like, oh, anytime after, in the afternoon. And he was like, what's afternoon to you? Like, is it 12 to 5? Is it 2 to 6? Like, what is it? Because just that simple term, afternoon, means something different to two people. Like for me, anything after noon is noon, is afternoon. After
Noon to
anything
4.
after noon, 12
Noon
noon
to 4, I would say, is
yeah,
noon, like afternoon.
really. So
Yeah, I
like
would
4 to
say.
5 is like evening to you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, like that. Even we differ in that, because I go to 5. 5 is always, because 5 was like quitting time, and it's like that's the change.
Oh,
I grew up with
maybe.
that being quitting time. So interesting. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I can't give you a debunking explanation for that, because I don't have enough information.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it does, but I mean, that's just being honest. I don't have enough information to give you a good idea of what might happen.
Kimberly says I am right.
Donna is correct. Hey, Kim. In what? I'm right, you're wrong. Whatever.
12 to 4. Afternoon.
Well, technically 5 is afternoon.
Evening.
Yeah, but it's still afternoon. There's no after evening or
Before evening.
before morning or pre-morning.
Before evening.
It's just afternoon. We're looking this up.
There you go.
Wait. Hey, Alexa.
Afternoon is when you wake up
What
after
time
having
is the afternoon?
Afternoon is February 2nd, 2024 at 12 p.m.
Nah, she didn't help.
She didn't know. I'm going to ask Google, because Alexa, you suck.
Kimberly says evenings are 5 to 12.
What is the time range considered afternoon? Afternoon hours typically refer to the time period between midday and evening, with a range of 12 noon to 6 p.m. being the most commonly accepted.
For afternoon? It's
Yeah.
12 to 6?
12 to 6 is the most commonly accepted. That's by a law firm, so you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to argue with that.
All right, whatever. I don't know.
This is going to be the great debate.
This is going to be
tonight.
like a poll question.
This is the poll question. Everyone can comment. Like, what is considered afternoon?
That's all I want to know. Afternoon.
When does afternoon start? Better be 12 noon. And when does it end and become evening?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love how this show just goes. I never know what's going to be popular. I always call afternoon 1 to 5 or so, but I live by my work calendar, which is 8 to 5.
Exactly. That's what Kenny said. Yeah.
That was always it. I think, like, my father always came home like after 5.
Well, mine was after 4.
Like, that's when and I think it was another thing growing up, where my mother would say something like, when your father gets home in the evening, or this evening.
No.
So when he got home, it was after 5. So that's how I just got the idea that 5 o'clock was the cutoff. But I love skepticism. It's like, well, I don't know about that. Let's see. All right. Well, how about we do one more question?
I agree, Kimberly. The hour in between is nap time. I'm all for that.
Let's do one more question, and then we'll go to break.
Okay.
Dun-dun. Buddy Bob, have you heard from the 4th TS, Tortured Soul, lately? I haven't seen Taryn in chat for a while. Excuse me. Yes, I've seen her. She does her own show, and I know she does it all like different times and stuff like that. But I have seen her. I know she hasn't been here, but I know she's still going. Maybe she's afraid. Especially some of the guests that she sat on.
She's afraid of what?
To come on, hear what I have to say. Actually, like with her last guest, it's not what I would have to say. It's what Tim Vickers would have to say. Because him and the last guest, John Zaffis.
Oh.
They have history.
Oh. Shouldn't say it like that.
My grandpa called lunch supper when I was a kid. I've heard that too. Like people refer to like there's dinner and supper. And supper was like earlier. But I don't know. Different people, different country, different parts of the country. Really weird. But California, I think we can all agree, is the weirdest part of the country. Morning is 5 a.m. to 11:59. Afternoon is 12 to 5:59. Evening is 6 to 11. There you go. I love it. That's the in between.
Hours.
That's the in between time. All right. Okay, one more question. Yeah. That's
sorry that just popped up by accident.
That's all right.
There's only one more question left. So do you want to just take it?
We'll take it. Let's take the question and then we'll go to break, and that gives you guys. We need more questions, so pop them in the chat room, and then we'll, as we do come back from break, we'll just pile them up, or we will just end the show early.
Okay.
So last question.
There you go.
Michelle, did I get a proper pronunciation on that? Did I say that right? Because I don't like saying people's names wrong, because I feel silly. But I just want to make sure I get your name right. So have you read The Holographic Universe or heard of the concept? The book seems to use the concept of holographic universe to explain several paranormal phenomena. So I have not holograph. I've heard of it, but I haven't read it. And I'm wondering if that goes along with just the general hypothesis that we live in a hologram, that we live in a simulation. I'm wondering if that is like what this book is about. I don't know. Actually, this would be a great question for Eric behind the wall, because he loves this stuff. Pasqua. Am I saying it right now? Pasqua? Yeah, I know. Sometimes I do say Pascal. And that's because we knew someone named Pascal.
Yeah.
And I think I see your name and I immediately revert to that. But I think it's Pasqua. Let me know if I'm saying that right. So no, I haven't read this book, but I just wrote it down so I can check it out and see what it's about. So holographic universe. All right. With that, we're going to go to our break.
You got it right.
Yeah. Awesome. Pasqua. I have to practice.
He's going to mess it up.
I think with that, it's actually funny because when I went to Vegas for Ben's party and I knew you were going to be there, I know I was talking to him or Ben and Celeste, and I was like getting them to say your name so I could practice it just so I had the right pronunciation, because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of you because it was the first time we were Mitchell. Okay. Michelle. Okay. All right. Michelle. Okay. All right. So with that, I'm gonna pee. Just want to tell you, everyone, it's pee break time. All right. Give me some questions. Put your questions in the chat room. Early. Or yeah, we're gonna end early. I don't want to. I'm having fun. So with that, I am gonna go to break now. All right, we are back. I wanted to show off real quick a T-shirt that I recently received from Brian Dunning. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
DEA, drink every afternoon.
That's why it's important to know when the afternoon is.
Yeah.
That played in nicely.
Speaking of that, we have
Brian Dunning. What?
no
Oh.
Dr. Jim.
Did you know that the different assumptions of afternoon evening came from the old printed TV guide? Really?
That would make sense
I mean,
because that's what
Why?
people used to watch
watch TV.
TV, but that would be like, all right, well, that would be afternoon.
What? It had listings morning, afternoon, and evening.
Exactly, morning, afternoon, and evening,
But
and they had it broken
like,
out.
I'm breaking it out. I don't. Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's what Dr. Jim just said.
Morning's assumptions. Oh, I wonder if I don't remember. But I have TV guides. Do I have them here? No, I don't.
You
I
got to
have
get a
TV guides
TV.
at
Write
home.
that down. We got to get a TV guide.
We're gonna have to see. I might post pictures on
Yeah, we're gonna
my
have to
Facebook
figure out
later.
this afternoon,
TV guide
morning, afternoon, evening.
assumptions of morn F Eve.
Dr. Jim says I don't make this shit up.
I don't make this shit. How do I know? I've
I
met
don't
you in
blame
person.
you either. I agree with you, Dr. Jim. I really do. Kenny's the one that's gonna have to go look it up.
I'm always skeptical. You know that.
That's what he has to do. Look it up.
I got my hairs cut since last week. You haven't noticed. Like last week, I had a mop. Finally got all my hairs cut. It was pretty bad. All right. So let's see what else we got. Let's see if we can stretch out a bunch of questions.
Stretch too much.
Do you think ghosts see color? I see investigators ask them to go towards the green or red light on their devices. I personally don't think they can. Jamie, this is a great question. I mean, it's got several answers. I'll start first with my opinion. I don't think ghosts exist in the first place. So I don't think they can see color because they don't exist. However, if we're going to go with the idea, if we want to, let's explore this idea. If ghosts exist, and they are incorporeal, they have no physical form. Like we touched on it earlier about like eyeballs moving, and we touched on cones and rod cells. There I go, Pasquale. I'm talking about my rod again. We have cones and cells and how they see, how the cones see color, and then we actually have 3 different ones that see red, blue, green, specifically red, blue, green color frequencies. And then we have the rod cells, which only see gray. So without those, we don't see color, or gray or whatever. So how can a ghost see color? If a ghost exists and light passes through it, first of all, you have nothing to reflect the light, so there is no retina for the light to land on.
Yeah,
after
the eyeball. They don't have an eyeball.
They don't have eyes. They can't see. How can they see anyway? Much less color. So that is always a good question because I see so many ghost hunters go, like if you're a man, hit the red light, or if you're a woman, hit the green light, or I'm going to ask you questions, and if it's yes, hit the green light, or if it's no, hit the red light. Like, how the hell do they know? Again, it really comes back to the tribal knowledge that anything you believe a ghost can do, they can do. Ghost hunting has no science behind it. It really doesn't.
Or they just think it's like a human being.
Well, yeah,
that knows the difference between red and green, and they're just that's what they're doing.
What if the ghost of the person, when he was alive, or when he or she was alive, they were colorblind?
Oh,
now we have a big problem.
That's a big problem.
Oh man, I mean that's a very interesting question, and I encourage you to bring that up to every ghost hunter that you meet that brings forth that kind of situation.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
I think you should bring that up all the time and just say like, how do you know? How do you know that they can see color? I don't know. That's a that's fun. I actually never really brought that up before. I would love to be like, how do you know they see color? By what mechanism? I'm channeling my Tim Vickers night now. By
Oh,
what mechanism can they see color? Or can see at all? So that's really good. I like that. Tim Vickers. So the inside joke here for all the new people that have joined us. So the inside joke here is that Tim Vickers, which is one of my good friends and co-hosts of another podcast we do, Three Tortured Souls, he went up to John Zaffis at a conference once, and they were engaging in conversation and talking about haunted objects, like dolls that can be possessed and stuff like that. And Tim asked the question, "What's the mechanism by which a ghost can attach to an object?" And John literally like turned around and walked away from him. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. And it's been a joke, a running joke ever since. Like, what's the mechanism? And we have fun with it. So Tim Vickers was Vickered.
that's funny.
So, all right, what else we got? We got a couple more, I see. Okay. Ian. Well, several actually. What are we talking about?
I guess several questions. Maybe.
Several questions? Okay, that's good. Where did the idea ghosts can be detected by devices come from? Ghostbusters, yes. Temperature drops, The Exorcist, 3 a.m. nonsense, Amityville horror. So, I know like the what is it? Oh my gosh, the Ghost Society. Wait, oh my god, I'm having a total UK Ghost Club. I'm having a total brain fart here. Not the Ghost Club. American Society for Psychical Research, and then there's the Society for Psychical Research, SPR. That's I had to like sound it out, so I got it. So I know SPR was doing. That's the Society for Psychical Research. They were doing a lot of testing to see if they could detect ghosts. Way back before all of the modern day ghost hunting stuff in groups have come into existence. And then there was the American Society for Psychical Research, which did the same. It was the American counterpart. So I think the idea that ghosts can be detected was just basically trying to find a the result, looking for something that like a condition. No, wait, how do I want to say this? Looking for an interaction with an alleged entity. So like people would spread powder on the floor to see if they could catch footprints in it. Um, they would use candles or like light tissue paper or special paper that was very light. They would hang it to see if a breeze would go when they thought everything was closed off. Simple tests like that in order to see a reaction. Kind of like how we see a black hole. We can't actually see a black hole, but we see the result of the environment around a black hole. Or gravity. We can't see gravity, but we can see the result of gravity on things. So I think that's when the idea actually started, because people were looking for ways. How can we test this? There's an mostly invisible, mostly intangible entity that we think might be here. We think it's a spirit of the dead. How can we test for it? Well, we hear footsteps. Okay, how do we track footsteps? Let's put powder on the floor. The old tools. Oh, geez. Dr. Jim's digging back in his old traveling trunk and bringing out some of his magic tricks. So I think that's when it really started. But I think it gained popularity with Ghostbusters. with like the PKE meter, which I have one. I have one over there. But also when you have, let me see, when did Poltergeist came out? 1982. Poltergeist came out before Ghostbusters, which was 1984. And in that movie, you had a parapsychology team come in with instruments, but it was more of a base camp. They didn't really go and like with little handheld readers. But I think it was Ghostbusters that really set the stage for handheld meters and devices like that, because the PKA meter really set the stage for the EMF meter to be used, and then all these other devices, because people just wanted to, and it became the cliche of anything that beeps and lights up, is a ghost detector. So I'm looking at all these comments. I really love some of these comments. Problem with ghost sensing stuff. I've always had a problem with ghost sensing stuff. Like, you need to have established that ghosts exist and what they are made of to even begin to measure for them. Exactly. I totally agree. You without knowing the qualities of what you're trying to test for, you can't have a device that measures that. I mean, you might, let's say for argument's sake that ghosts exist. You have to try a bunch of different things in order to try to prove. Jeff says also show Ghost Hunters. The show Ghost Hunters did a lot of instruments on that show after many paranormal teams started up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, reality TV did play a big role in that too. It really set the stage. I mean, because EMF meters were kind of the start. We had the like Dr. Gauze, and then you had the episode where they had the K2 meter on, and that really exploded that. That when everybody needed one. So that, yeah, reality TV really plays a factor in that. I forget where I was going with this. It was Pasquale's. I'm trying to say his name over and over so I burn it into my brain. You need to establish that something exists. So you need to actually establish that there is a measurable difference, and then that measurable difference can be attributed to what your target is. So that takes a lot of work. It's a lot more than just going to a creepy looking house and putting a blinking light thing up in the middle and going, make it blink, And yeah, I just did footage. I filmed footage with the REM pod for a fellow YouTuber that will hopefully be using it soon in a soon to be released video, showing how I was able to set those off from pretty good distances. So that should be fun. All right. That was a quick, like, selfless plug. John Kennedy, when are you having Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show? Never. And I'm not saying that because I don't want him on the show. I did ask him because I have his email. I did ask him, and he politely declined, just because he wants to stay more on the science side of things and not so much the skeptical or be labeled a skeptic kind of thing. He wants to stay on the science side of things. So I get it. I'm bummed because I really would like to have him on and just pick his brain. That's the kind of thing where I can say, what do you think of ghosts? And then just sit back and let him talk, because I'm sure I listen to his podcast. He likes to talk. So that would be really, really cool. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So, hey, JD Sword's in the house. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Cool. All right. So that's all I got for that question.
Okay.
Pasqua. What's your favorite improbable non-paranormal explanation for ghost? Improbable non-paranormal. I'm confused by the question. Improbable explanation for ghosts. That they were an experiment. Wait, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about here, because that you're throwing me there. Improbable definition. Let me see. Not likely to be true. Okay, not likely to be true, non-paranormal explanation. So I would say that we go through a dense celestial cloud of tachyons, and we are transported to, we are briefly able to interact with a different dimension. And so the ghosts that we think are ghosts are not ghosts, they are other people that we are just simply interacting out of phase with, and can temporarily see and hear, and sometimes physically interact with. How's that? I think that's good.
That was good for me.
I threw a little Star Trek in there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It sounded
which I
like a
don't
little
usually
bit
do, but Star Trek is known for just making up sciencey shit to explain any anomaly out in space. So there you go. That's as best I can do.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Not likely
Okay.
true. Or yeah, okay. Woo. Cat Mac, have you ever had an experience that you had difficulty explaining? Maybe one that haunted you for a while until you could explain it. No, I mean, let me see. I don't think so. There's plenty of things I can't explain. Plenty. I mean, there's so many situations. I mean, earlier with the example of the flash of light that somebody had in the middle of the room. You know, like I can't explain that. I don't know. I don't know what that could be. I have a couple ideas, but without being there, I don't know. And that happens a lot. But do they haunt me? No, no. I mean, if I can't, if I spend like an hour on it and I'm just like, I'm hitting dead ends, it's not worth it. All right, let me print out a few things if I'm like interested. If I think it's really interesting, I'll print out like articles or papers or pictures or all of it. I'll put it in a file and I'll put it in my file cabinet and leave it until maybe something pops into my head and says, "Hey, like maybe this a good idea." But I do not dwell on it. And that's just because I think because I've learned not to dwell on it. Because if it does, then it'll just consume a lot of time and it'll waste a lot of time. Going nowhere, spinning my wheels to give a I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Spinning my wheels.
Spin 'em.
Yeah, I think there was something else I wanted to say, but I forget what it is. But yeah, I mean, I won't let it haunt me because I'm so busy. I mean, I'm always doing something, and it's like at the most I'll give you an hour, and if I can't figure it out in an hour, or get a clue to warrant the next step, then I'm like, all right, well, I got to move on to the next project. I have to go, and that's it. I forget about it until something comes up in the future where it brings that case back around. So there you go.
That sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
Well rounded. Thanks.
I try. Dun, dun. I like the little badge on my shirt. It's nice. It's a little guy in a sombrero.
I know.
I like it. He's cool. Alex, could you explain why cat balls aren't good? I know you don't like them, but didn't know why. So, cat balls. Just sounds funny. Why don't you like cat balls? Because they're not dog balls.
Wow.
So what we're talking about here is little plastic balls that clear plastic that light up when a cat plays with them, like moves the cat, and little sensor inside triggers the light to go on or flash, an LED to flash. And I know a lot of ghost hunters use them as a vibration sensor. The problem is these are super sensitive. The it's what is it? A tilt sensor that's inside of it, and it's a very simple, cheap tilt sensor. I think the entire ball itself, when I did an investigation into this, 12 cents. It cost 12 cents to make for everything: the circuit board, the LED, the batteries, the plastic ball that it goes into, everything. It costs 12 cents to make that. It is a very cheap thing. It's very easy to manipulate. Any little vibrations of somebody walking around on the floor above or below or in the next room can make it go off. It is not reliable. It is literally a actually, you know what? Let me pull it up so I can give you a visual, because I do have a I do have pictures on the article that I did, and it'll explain it so much better than
And where can you find this article?
you can find this article. I'm glad you asked.
Uh-huh.
On skepticalinquirer.org. If you go there and type in Kenny Biddle, actually, if you hit the little magnifying glass, which looks like this, and then type in my name, or just go on their authors and look for Kenny Biddle, it'll pull up all my articles, which are like, I think I have almost 90 articles on there. I'm getting close. I'm really excited about hitting the 100 mark.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Investigating spirit communication device, a cat ball. So let me share the screen because that's fun. Let me see. Window, cat balls, share. There we go. All right. So this is the first problem I have with it. The cat balls were sold as a vibration activated light sphere. It's the same exact package, same exact ball, same exact company that manufactured these. The only thing that was changed by the person that was selling them, who was also busted for pretending to make knocking sounds by talking to ghosts, is the card. That's the only thing that was changed. That was a custom card that was made for it, but exactly the same. When you open it up, this is what you get. These are both the cat ball and the ghost or sphere, light sphere, whatever the fuck it is. Same thing inside. And here's the tilt sensor. Let me blow that up so we get a better picture of it. So this over here on the left is how it is when you see it when you open up the ball, and then you cut off. This is just a plastic wrap. It's a shrink wrap on it. When you cut that open, it's just two metal clamps with a BB inside. That's all. And all this has to do is just roll from one side to the other, which is like, I think it's only like, I want to say 3 millimeters wide. As soon as it makes contact with the other plate, because these are tilted, so they're not like straight, they are actually like, yeah, like tilted, something like that. So when it goes side to side, it makes contact again, and it makes electrical contact and then lights up the LED. So really not much to it, and they're not reliable. And this really goes into all the other ghost hunting equipment, all the gadgets that are being used, the REM pods, the K2 meters, the SLS cameras. These are not reliable tools for what's being done. There is no science being done. They are just tools that are borrowed from other hobbies, games, hobbies, or other industries, and adapted. Not even adapted. They are appropriated for ghost hunting and said, oh, we can use this to detect ghosts. And there's nothing that says it actually can. It's just another thing that lights up and or beeps, makes noises.
It's for your pet.
It's for if you have a cat, great. They're going to have fun. They're going to love it. They're going to love the shit out of it.
Rummy would probably like it.
Rummy would probably, you think?
She would probably chase it around the room.
She would probably want to eat it. And this is like a hard plastic that's not very strong. I wouldn't give it to a dog. But yeah, I mean, that's it. There's really nothing for it to do. If you want a vibration, I don't know why you want a vibration sensor. I mean, I can think of a reason, like if you hear footsteps, if that's one of the claims, then you might want to put like a vibration sensor, but get a good one. Get an actual vibration sensor and put it there. Something that gives you measurement, something that measures like how much vibration. I have stomped my foot on them before multiple times. They did not go off. Maybe faulty with the I have, so if you, let me see, where is it? Do I have it here? I think I have a picture. Estimated time. I was wrong about the price too. It was actually a little bit more. Let me share this again so you can see this, because I want to correct my mistake. So that's from the company. So it was 98 cents each. I was wrong.
To
not
buy.
12 cents. So you could buy these from the company at 98 cents if you bought 100 of them. And then they were being sold for, I think, $13 or $12 or $11. There, $11.04, which is 3 times more than you could buy it at Target. But so here, this is what I'm getting at. So I set this up with a video camera, took video of the whole thing. These are all marked. So some of them are marked cat balls, some of them are marked light spheres, because I took them out of a package and marked them. But they went off just simple, like you can see up here, the left-hand picture of the two on top. They're actually lit up, and that was just me standing there, and I shifted my weight from foot to foot, and it went off. When my dog, which we had a little dog at the time, Chewy, and I mean, she was what, like 12 pounds?
Yeah.
But when she would walk along the floor, they would go off all the time. So I think in your case, what you're saying here, if we go back up to where the sensor is, the tilt sensor, if this was positioned, if the ball was positioned where this was like up and down, just straight up and down, and the ball was stuck down at the bottom, then yeah, it wouldn't go off. So that's definitely a scenario where that would happen, and you would just have to move it a little bit in order to get it in position where it was, parallel or horizontal,
With
and
the
then see,
movement.
and then it would go back and forth with the movement. But they are not vibration sensors. I also want to make that clear. Like, they are not vibration sensors. You actually have to really move them, or they have to be on such a tilt. Let me see. They have to be on such a tilt that any little, just a little bit like that, will make the little BB like jump back and forth and lose contact. And we're talking a very, very minuscule contact point. That's why it can go like less than the width of a hair back and forth in order to break contact and make contact again in order to light it up. So lots of bad things with that. And then again, it is not a vibration sensor. It's just not. That's not what it's made for. It's made to roll.
It's a cat toy.
It's a cat toy. It's a pet toy. That's it.
It's made to push around the floor.
It's like the flashlight trick. It's not made for that.
Right.
I hate the flashlight trick. I really do. Ugh.
Don't use it for ghost hunting.
All right.
If that was your overall
That was
question.
good. That was a good question. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. JD Sword. Do you think the general public's interest in ghost hunting has diminished over the years?
I don't know if we could answer that question.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think we still have a few shows on TV, but for the most part, I think they have shifted to like YouTube. Like, especially lately in the last like few months, when I've gotten more involved with like people like Beardo and Parple and Side Eye Guy and Crow of Judas, looking at the stuff they do, there's a lot of YouTube series, YouTube channels that do the same kind of thing, except you don't have the problem of sponsorship or FCC rules, because you can curse, you can do a lot more than you can do on network television. So I think there's been a big push with that, and people just want to do it themselves. I mean, shit, like when Ghost Hunters started, like they had a production crew, and so you had production value, and then you had Ghost Douchebags come along. I mean, Ghost Adventures came along, and they did more of a, hey, let's all hold our own cameras and do like more of a raw footage, found footage kind of thing. And that the popularity of that horrible, silly, ridiculous show has influenced a lot of YouTubers who do the same thing. I mean, they really go in. You get 2 or 3 guys, and it's usually guys that are going into abandoned places or allegedly haunted places with their cameras, and just all of them are filming. Ian, don't hold back. I, I really can't stand that guy. But yeah, they go into a place and they all have their cameras going, but you only see the exciting parts. It's amazing how many times there's 3 cameras on a a paranormal event, but only 10 seconds of one camera is shown to the viewer. Oh, that bothers the hell out of me.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay.
All right, cool.
You good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Paranormal entertainment has shifted to reactionary content rather than investigation. That was Boo Productions that said that. That I agree. I really do agree. I think reactionary is it. You're looking for that jump scare. You're looking for people. I think because the audiences are younger, and I think we've talked about this before, where the young, impressionable audience, like the Sam and Cody, Sam and Kobe, I forget, Colby.
Colby.
Yeah, Sam and Colby audience, like very young audience. They love that, like, oh my God. They love the overacting Jim Carrey kind of style of reaction. And I mean, that's what the audience loves. That's what the YouTube audience loves. So that's what they get. According to a study, what's this say? According to a study published in 2021, only 36% of U.S. population believe me. I know it went down, which is great. Interesting enough, 63 of Americans identify as Christian, so they believe in Jesus ghost, but not ghost. But I think, yeah, for network television, there's not. I think they are kind of going away, except for Travel Channel, because they just love. They love Bigfoot, and just like any show that claims to find something but never does. So yeah, I think that's as much as I can say about that right now, unless something else pops into my head. So good question though. Thank you. What else we got? Anything? Oh, Ian, have you ever seen anything that's made you go, maybe? We still talking about ghosts?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, all right, just so we can narrow the focus down here. No, not really, because I mean, if you asked me like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, then yeah, definitely that would have been a reaction of mine. But I don't know why I did that. I'm not sure why I did the Vanna White kind of thing. But now I think I've trained myself in order to, I'm not looking for ghosts. I'm looking for explanations. And if that happens to be a ghost, so be it. But I'm looking for an explanation. I'm looking for a cause. And that's always what I'm looking for. If something happens, if there's a shadow or a light or a sound or whatever, I immediately go into detective mode. Let's find the source. What happened? Where did it come from? What could have caused that? Look at the footage. Look at this. Look at that. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't stop and go, that could be a ghost. I just never do. It's not in my nature to do that. But again, like if we're looking and we go into the deep, dark basement, and like suddenly, the ghost from the Ghostbusters, the New York library, trying to say library, right? Library pops up, and I mean, it'll startle me, but my first reaction will always be poke.
Yeah.
Poke. I want to see if it's real. If I go through it, I'm like, oh shit, that's really good. All right. Then I'd probably look for a projector.
Yeah, here, Bob has it right here.
For Kenny, I think it's more, let's see how that works. Exactly. I want to see how it works. I want to know, like, what's the mechanism, Tim Vickers? I want to know what the mechanism is. And how it worked, and can we recreate it? That's what I love about the TikTok videos that I do. And if you're not on my TikTok channel, if you're not subscribed, you better go on there, look up my name, Kenny Biddle, CSI. look for it. But I love doing that. I love seeing like some of the ridiculous videos, but some of the ones that I'm like, I don't know how they did that. It's and even that's like that was a genuine reaction. I didn't even try. It's not that could be a ghost. It's wonder how they did that.
Yeah.
Let me look closer. And that's the hour. Like it'll be on the screen. I'll put it on a bigger screen, and then I'm looking at it. I'll put my glasses on. Then I'll have my glasses and my magnifying glass looking at it, and I'm like, oh, all right. Well, their hands. Look at their hands. Their hands are moving in an unnatural rotation or something. It's doing something weird. Let me look at that. Oh, look, his fingers disappear at this like 2 frames. It's masked. There's a mask there, and he's hiding something. So that's usually how I go about it. But that's awesome. Good question. All right. We're almost there. We're an hour and 40 minutes. We're doing good. Jay, how you doing? Would you ever have Penn and Teller on? I do magic shows, and I would love a skeptical magician's perspective. I would love to have them on because I think it would be entertaining. I don't think I think I'm more of like really small, and I don't think they would bother with me. I have met both of them because they've been to SciCon, so I have met them. We went to their show.
Yeah.
We were able to talk to both of them a little bit, and it was actually nice because when we attended their show, I did have a Skeptical Inquirer T-shirt on, and Penn actually pointed me out and said, that's a good place to be. That's a good magazine. And I said, I work for them. And they're like, good. We love it. So maybe I'll send them something and just ask.
Can't hurt to ask.
Yeah, it can't hurt to ask. But I just don't get the sense that they'd be,
up for it.
like really bother with me because it's just tiny and small and not a big voice. Although I can talk a lot.
You can talk a lot.
I can talk a lot, and I can be loud, especially if you piss me off. But anyway, so that is something. You know what, Jay? I'll do it this week. I'll just shoot them a message. I do have their email, so
yeah,
I'll shoot them something and just say, hey, like, would you ever consider, doing this? Either one of you.
Or both.
Both would be great. I would love it, but I'll take one.
Right.
If one of you is like, oh, but see, again, like there's a problem because they do live shows all the time. They have a residency. So it's like a Friday night might be a little difficult for them.
Right.
So maybe I can work out something where I do an interview. And then that would be fun. Just be like, hey guys, well, I have a video to play. It's an interview. Enjoy. I'm going to go drink. Click. You guys watch it. I'm off. But that would be something on my Ghosts in the Machine YouTube channel. I would do that. So
we'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it. What else we got? Bob, if it was possible to travel anywhere in the universe immediately, wormhole, I suppose. I would prefer Stargate. Where would be the first place you would want to explore? For me, it would be just outside the gravitational pull of a black hole. You'd still be in space and you would die. So maybe with a good like a spaceship or a good spacesuit. I don't know. Like I would love. I think I would like to go to a planet. What is that? Proxima. Closest planet in the Goldilocks zone. Proxima Centauri B. Proxima B.
Centauri.
Yeah, Centauri B. Sometimes referred to as Alpha Centauri CB. Exoplanet orbiting the habitable zone of a red dwarf. I would like to go there.
Alpha Centauri.
Because
CB.
1, different planet. 2, red dwarf. I mean, I would love to be able to look up in the sky and just see that. I want to know what it looks like. And be like, It shines like the red sun of Krypton.
Oh my god.
Nerd. I need that as a sound effect. Nerd.
Yeah.
One that you could play.
Yeah.
But then just see how life, if any, was on that planet and how it evolved. I would love to see it because it's got to be different. It's got to be different than what's here. Even though like this planet alone has such a variety of life.
Yes, it does.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it does.
It is so freaking amazing. Like that's one of the things like on my recommended videos on YouTube when I'm watching YouTube late at night, and it's like strangest creatures you'll ever see, and I'm like, show me. I want to see it. I'm like, what the hell is that? Holy crap, that's real. So yeah, that's what I would do. But then yeah, like I get it. Like being safely right outside of the gravitational pull of a black hole would be interesting. And I can't fathom the size of it though. Like it's so big. How far would you have to be to see it and not like envelop? Like I'm almost thinking, and I have no idea. I'm almost thinking like even if you're outside that zone, it would have to be really, 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 really far. Would the black hole itself encompass your entire field of view, where you'd have to like kind of look around like this if you could, if you're in a spacesuit? But then also, I think of the first image of a black hole that we have, which I actually have hanging. It's hanging up on my wall. That puts like the black hole in the center and shows like the ring of light around it, but that's light being pulled in, and it would actually be pulled in from all sides. So would it not be light on all sides or streaking or stuff? I have no idea. I mean, oh shit, maybe that'll be first. Damn it, Bob. Maybe that's first on my list, and then go to Proxima Centauri. I don't know. I mean, I have a Stargate. I can go anywhere, right? I'm gonna do it. I want to go to both. I'm picking both. It's my show. I'm picking both.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo. Boo. I'm sorry. I'm a director for the Warren Legacy Foundation. I'd love to talk to you about a few things. How would I get into contact with you? So, if you watch this show, you probably know my opinions on certain things, but we can talk. I'm certainly open to talk. You can email me at, do I have it? I think I have a banner. Do I have a banner? Wait. I'm going to be proud of it. I think, did I put it up there? I did. Wait, there it is. kbiddle@centerforinquiry.org. That's my work email. That's the one I check the most. I'm slowly trying to change it because for years, probably a decade or two, I've had a different email, which is everywhere. It's associated with me like everywhere, and I've been trying to slowly change it over so that people get my current email. So yeah, that's where you can find me, and we can talk. Or, and this is not, I can give this out because it's my work phone, but you can call me at the office. I love that. I can say that. You can call me at the office. Is that like Big Bang Theory? At the office.
Yes.
So my number here is 716-636-1425, extension 332. That is my work phone, and you are welcome to call Monday through Friday. I would say like 9 to 5, but
yeah, 9 to 5.
9 to 5 is probably pretty good. Closer to like 10
to 3.
10 to 3 is probably the best chance you have. Maybe let's narrow that down to like 10 to noon, and then maybe like 1:30 to like 4. That would be better because that's when I'm definitely in the office.
Or you just leave a message.
Or you leave a message and I'll call you back.
Yeah.
I mean, I because I'm constantly in and out. This is like, I've said this every time that I do a show, but I have the greatest job in the world. honestly. And it's like the Clark Kent job, because I can come here, I do my work. If I have an experiment I want to do, I can run out and do it. I grab volunteers. Everyone's willing to help. But then if I have to go somewhere else to do it, I can just go and then come back with the results and do it. So, Kenny, I know your thoughts on the Warrens. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I honestly love your stuff. I've got questions related to work. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to put that disclaimer there, because when you describe what you do, I want to make sure you understand before, because some people are like, can't tell you how many times someone reaches out to me thinking I'm a ghost hunter. And they're like, "Oh, we want you for this TV show. We want to hear like your ghost stories and like the real ghosts that you've encountered." And I'm always like, "Did you not like look up what I do?" Or I give the disclaimer in the beginning. So thank you, I appreciate that. I completely understand. But yeah, give me a call. Give me a call Monday. I'll be in the office Monday, and we can chat. And if you have questions, I'll do my best to answer them, and we'll go from there. So cool. That's good. I like that. I'll work with anyone.
One more question,
except for Zach Baggett. Joe, hey Joe, long time no see or hear. Is it C? It would be C, right?
Well,
because I'm seeing
him on the show.
In some of your articles, data collectors seem to be a tool you and others use. What data do you collect? So I don't use data collectors myself, because I don't use a lot of the equipment. The equipment that I use is not suited for data collection, because I rely mostly on my camera, and that's for reference photos, video for reference video, and so on. But your question is better suited, and I don't think he's in the chat room anymore. Dave Schumacher. So he does the Three Tortured Souls show with me. He is an excellent source for that. If you want to talk to him about data loggers, because he uses them, he has a bunch of them. He has recommendations for them. So definitely, I would definitely reach out to him. Or you know what? I will let him know. I will write your question down. Let's see, Joe Para Oddities, data loggers, and I will pass it along to him, and then I'll put him in touch with you. If you want to send me a message, if you want to send me like a DM on Facebook or something like that, give me an email address that is good. Don't ghost me. I'm kidding. Send me an email that's good. I'll pass it along to Dave, and then he can, when he has time. Again, he's going through some personal issues right now, so he might not be able to get back to you like quickly. But once he can give you the best suggestions for that. I know like Tim Vickers has looked into it a little bit, because I really don't use, when it comes to ghost hunting devices, I usually take them apart and see what's in them. You're welcome. You're welcome. I see what's in them. I see what they do. I see what they can and can't do. And then I go from there. If I do have questions about data, I usually go to Dave, because when it comes to numbers, I'm just not good at it. And that's my weak point. So I look at other people that have expertise in that area. So good. Mm-hmm. You said sounds good. I will definitely make that connection for you. All right. Are we good? We're all caught up. Awesome. Yep. I hope everyone had fun tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, whether you were here for a few minutes or the entire show. I hope you enjoyed it. Jade Kitten says, last question there, is 3TS Wednesday? I'm going to say no. We didn't actually decide that, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no, just because of the personal issues that Dave's having right now. We're going to postpone it until things clear up. So I will keep you guys posted on what's going on. And again, if you know Dave, if you're connected to Dave, please send him some love. Him and his wife Jen, just send them some love, because they could use it. And then for that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know when that's going to be. We might postpone it a week, or we might postpone it until next month. I don't know yet. Or we might do something that we just get together and just say, hey, you know what? Let's do
We're
a
doing
show.
a show, right?
Yeah, we're just going to do something. We'll surprise the shit out of people. See if anyone listens. So with that, I'm going to get into some announcements. Looks like everything.
Yeah, everything's good.
Everyone's having a good. I'm glad. I don't have too many announcements. I know if you guys are local, so I have a lot of local announcements because, you know, the Center for Inquiry, we have events coming up. I know on February 12th is our next Lego night. It's a Monday. So if you're in the area and you want to build Legos, if you have a Lego set and you want to build it.
I'm not going to be here.
Oh, no. I can build your Legos for you.
Oh.
But we're going to have a Lego night so you can come to the center. I think it starts at like 6. And then we literally just a bunch of nerds gather in the reading room out here and we build Lego sets together, which is fun.
That's the only kind of nerd I am.
Yeah.
The Lego nerd.
If you're into the Eclipse event happening and you are local and you would like to volunteer for the event that we're planning on April 8th, we have an Eclipse meeting on the 22nd of February. It's here at the center. It's at 6:00 p.m. If you want to, you can contact me for more details. I'll help you get here and get involved. February 29th, we have a lecture about the eclipse. It's going to be about the science behind eclipses and like partial eclipses, total eclipses. It's all the science behind it. It's going to be done by Tim Collins and another speaker, I believe. I don't have his name in front of me, but that will start at 6 p.m. here at the center. I think if you're a member of CFI, it's free. If you're not a member, it's $10 to get in for a lecture, and it's an hour or like a 45-minute lecture with Q&A. I think we also usually have pizza afterwards. But
yeah, and this guy knows his stuff.
This guy knows. We did. Was it last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend. We went to a local observatory and we took a class. We took a science and safety class so that we were better prepared for having an event during the solar eclipse. So people were safe, you know, especially with eyewear and stuff like that. But we went there, we talked to Tim, and oh man, I feel bad. I don't remember the other guy's name. I don't remember.
Jim?
What?
Jim?
Tim
Maybe. And Tom?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I can look it up, but we went and took the class. It was great. It was really fun. We learned a lot. They told us a lot. And what the best part was that the instructors are so enthusiastic. They have a passion for this, and it shows. It shows. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their face, and I love that. Once I see someone so passionate.
Yeah, they've been waiting for this event.
They travel the globe looking for this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's really, really fun when you see that. So I'm trying. Oh wait, there's pictures that we have. So I'm looking for events. Oh wait, upcoming events. Buffalo Psychics. What? That's not it. December. What is all this stuff? April Cosmic Inflation. Will Kinney. No, these are all past events. I want future events.
They didn't update
What's going on here? Why am I in past events? I'm gonna have to look. No upcoming events. I'm gonna have to fix that.
All
right. I'm gonna fix that. I'll put a link up in my Facebook page. So if you come to my page called I Am Kenny Biddle, I'll post a link later on tonight, and you guys can check it out. And I think that's it for now. I'm gonna say that's February, March. Oh, March. Wait, March 2nd. I will be at a convention called VillaCon. Like VILLA con. It's at a college. Where is it at? I don't have any other information. Again, I'll post a link to that because I'm not prepared. Oh, wait, I should really do this too. Because I haven't done this in a while. Squid Game Bob's announcements.
Yeah. But we just don't have the announcements.
I'll post a link up for that because it's like it's kind of like a Comic-Con, but it's not billed as a Comic-Con. It's billed more like a cosplay / writers / gaming con. And this is a funny story. I applied to be part of a panel discussion. And I specifically put in the notes, I would like to participate if you have like ghost hunters or paranormal people there that are already doing a panel discussion. I would like to participate as a token skeptic. And the response I got was, we would love to have you come and do a panel discussion. And I was like, that's not what I wanted, but okay. So myself, Eric Behind the Wall, and Daniel Reed from the West Virginia Skeptic Society is coming up. He's coming up for the weekend, and we're going to do this panel discussion, and we're going to talk about testing superpowers. So like the CFI IG $500,000 challenge, we're going to talk about some of the cases, the testing they've done, test I've done with them, the one test, stuff that Daniel has done. And then Eric is going to talk about outreach and how you guys can get involved and stuff like that with CFI. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And that's it. I think that's all the announcements I have. Everything else is coming up and or in the works. So with that, everyone have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Hug your loved ones. Make every minute count. And remember, never stop learning. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.